Construction insolvencies are up over 85%. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to have a look at this article discussing construction insolvencies, guys, and they're up over 85%. The construction apocalypse is a growing playlist here on the channel with regular additions when builders go under. Sadly, it's becoming a common story. And the reason for it, and I'm going to bring up this here, is, well, the government came to the rescue, everyone. We've got to remember that. This isn't without cause. The government intervened in the market and overstimulated it. You know what? I'm going to bring up that slide right now, and we'll jump over to it. Bear with me. Government to the rescue. There we go. So, nope, wrong one. Government to the rescue. They kept the zombie companies alive. Now, when they first announced this worried me more than anything else because I'm in small business. I work for other businesses. I do work before I get paid. Okay? So I'm taking a risk. And I've only been stiffed a few times, which is, not too bad. I know others have gotten burned for a lot more. For me as an architect, I lose my time, any costs associated with doing the work. It's not as bad as other professions where you're buying equipment, where you're building something, or where you're installing things for a job. So when they brought this in, I thought, oh boy, this is going to be bad. You've got them allowing businesses to trade while insolvent, and you can see the external administrations collapse. It went down. And, well, they're going right back up again. And then you've got all of the, that's mainly what we're going to talk about today, but you've got the other things that were juicing the market, the housing market in particular, with the home builder program overheating the sector. You've got the cash rate at nothing, pretty much. You've got discounts and grants, now shared equity. So yeah, the government stepped in, they juiced up the market. Now we're seeing builders, they're going under, guys. They're going under. It's jumped, sadly, probably back to normal. That's what's so drastic. I wonder how many of these businesses that are insolvent now started trading insolvent when they could and just kicked the can down the road, hoping the next job would be the one that makes the profit, that brings in the money, that keeps them going. This is the thing, with all of these people making predictions about the economy and housing and all of this stuff, remember, they can just change the rules. They can just change the rules as they need be. And you've got to understand, Australia, we're a culture of shared burden, not individual liberty or responsibility. It's one of shared burden. That's what Australia is. So that's why people will accept suffering of others if it's for the greater good. That's what Australia's like. If you don't accept that, just look back at what's happened over the last few years. It's not been a country where people have fought for individual liberty, not a significant portion of it. This is why the whole freedom movement that's going on out there. I went and saw the protests, and it was such a disconnected rabble of people with completely different ideological and political positions. I couldn't see it ever being cohesive and forming any significant political movement because just too much division. You had a nutcase anarchist worried about the lizards in the center of the earth, a la Iron Sky, and then a soccer mum whose cafe business was going bust because of the lockdowns at the same event. They're never going to work together on anything, guys. So let's get back to this and have a look here. You've got construction insolvencies increased more than 85% according to Equifax. Building activity has continued to decline amid rising construction collapses. Notwithstanding the highs reported in the September quarter, the Australian Bureau of Statistics construction data for the December quarter has revealed building work fell 1.6% to 30.6 billion, down from 30.6 billion in the previous quarter. What? Down? It's down from the same. I guess that may be a typo there. I've been talking to a few people, and it's starting to pick up again, at least in the residential sector. It was getting quiet at the end of the year and it's gotten a bit busy again. The lift in the September quarter followed a backlog of work built up after the extreme weather events that delayed construction in the first half of 2022. The data also showed construction work done fell 0.4% to 55 billion. The ABS's broad definition of a building is a permanent structure with an intended purpose primarily to house people, plant, machinery, vehicles, goods, or livestock. Okay, I've never actually looked that up, so that makes sense. The fall in building activity comes as the number of construction insolvencies increased by more than 85% in the full financial year to December 2022, Equifax data has confirmed. Given this, confidence in the construction industry has plummeted, with borrowers steering clear of locking into construction loans, according to broker Jamie Saver of Gippsland Finance Solutions. I suspect this is, the residential sector. Residential housing, detached housing, multi-units I think are coming up a little bit more. We saw approvals, so it were slowly coming up, but they're still down. But you know what it'll be? It'll be government sectors, government stimulus, social housing. They'll be pushing that out at a state and federal level. They'll be encouraging that. Unfortunately, like everywhere, we've had local builders that are in a position where they had to shut down, she said. It's been terrible for everyone involved, from the local tradies to the first home buyers in the middle. So construction activity to fall. ANZ economists have tipped construction activity is set to fall by around 10% through 23 to 24 as housing approvals fall, backlogs of work from the pandemic begin to clear, and insolvencies are rising. The delays associated with labour and materials availability, as well as the sharp rise in material costs, have impacted company cash flows and driven up insolvencies. The financial issues in the sector are flowing through to buyer sentiment, which is in turn weighing on new sales, economist Felicity Emmett said. We do expect only a modest decline in 23, a 3.5% drop, before a larger fall in 2024 of 8%, as builders work through their pipeline of activity, Ms. Emmett said. She also noted the ramping up of immigration will provide some support, but on its own is unlikely to prevent a substantial decline in activity. Well, you've got to remember, it overheated, guys. The sector overheated. If we bring this one up, this slide here, you can see that building approval, that the light blue line there on the chart on the bottom right of the slide. Look at that spike. That's home builder, okay? That's the impact it had. Hey, and remember, if we get a recession this year, you think Labor is above stimulating the housing sector? I don't think there's any difference. Well, we'll have to see. The ABS data also revealed that public works remains a growth driver on increased investment by governments, up to 2.6% in the quarter. Private new dwelling activity was up by 2%, while the private home renovation cycle appeared to have turned down after surging in 2021, falling for a third consecutive quarter, down 5.1%. Private business construction activity was down, with infrastructure falling by 0.8%, coming off a 6.3% lift, and commercial building fell by negative 7.5% on the back of a revised rise of 5.6%. So there we have it, guys. Let's have a bit of a talk about this one. So an 85% increase in insolvencies in the construction sector. No one can be surprised. Regulars of the channel would not be surprised that this has happened. We've seen it. But remember, we're coming off a low, okay? Insolvencies, external administrations, they were much lower than they needed to be. They were. So it's climbing back up. This is the insolvency cliff that I mentioned a long time ago materializing. This is what it is. And it's sad. People are going to get stuck in the middle, but we have to understand this is the consequence of overstimulating a market. Okay, there's nothing the government does is without consequence. We have to realize that. So I would advocate that we push for a smaller government in a more caretaker role with less meddling. But I somehow don't think that's the majority position. I don't think that is. What do you reckon, guys? Let me know your thoughts on that one in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Check out HeiseBim and Heise Does for other videos. And if you're a fan and want to support us, you can on YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links, buy our pocket squares, or call us if you need an architect. Take care, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.